You ever set a huge, exciting goal, only to find that a week later, all that motivation is just gone? Yeah, if that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. Well, today, we're going to dig into a really powerful strategy that's designed to break that cycle and build some truly unstoppable momentum, one tiny little step at a time. So let's just get right to it. We all have these massive ambitions, right? That huge project at work, a complete health makeover, maybe finally writing that book. But why is it that the initial excitement just seems to evaporate, leaving us feeling completely swamped before we've even really begun?
And this right here is the heart of the problem. We get caught in this all-or-nothing trap. It's like we're staring at the top of a giant mountain. And because we know we can't get there in one single heroic jump, we just don't even take the first step. It's a mental trap, and it causes total paralysis.
So let's give this thing a name. The big goal problem. It's this weird, backward thing where our biggest, most inspiring dreams actually become the very things that freeze us in our tracks and stop us from making any progress at all.
And, this is what happens. When you only focus on that huge, far-off finish line, it just creates this vicious cycle. The task feels so massive that, naturally, we procrastinate. And as we put it off, our motivation starts to tank. And then, sooner or later, we just hit a wall. Total burnout.
But what if there's a totally different way to look at this? A kind of counterintuitive strategy that pulls our focus away from the giant leap and onto something much, much smaller, but infinitely more powerful. Let's get into the solution. Okay, check this out. This really shows the difference. On the left, you've got the big goal trap, which is all about sitting around and waiting for motivation to strike. It's passive. But on the right, you have the small win strategy, and this is all about action. You're not waiting for anything. You're building momentum day by day, inch by inch. So here it is, the official definition. The small win strategy is all about focusing on small, consistent, and, this is the key, non-negotiable actions to build momentum. The words to remember here are small and non-negotiable. This isn't about what you do when you feel like it. It's about what you've committed to doing no matter what.
And look, we are not talking about life-altering efforts here. Just look at these examples. Waking up a little bit earlier, reading one chapter, taking a 10-minute walk. On their own, these things are not impressive at all. Their power isn't in the single action, but in the consistency of doing it over and over again.
So, what's really going on under the hood here? What's the psychological engine that makes this whole thing work? Why does something as simple as a 10-minute walk have such a huge effect? Well, the answer is in the very specific kind of fuel it creates.
This quote, this gets to the absolute core of it. Small actions are non-negotiable because they create the quiet self-respect needed for long-term growth. Let that sink in. It's not about the action itself. It's about what the action creates inside of you. And that secret ingredient is quiet self-respect. That's a really powerful phrase, isn't it? But what does it even mean? We're not talking about ego or being arrogant here. This is something way deeper, something quieter, and honestly, a lot more powerful. So, what is it?
It all comes down to internal integrity. Think of it like this. Every single time you make a small promise to yourself and then you actually keep it, you're casting a vote for the person you want to become. You're literally building trust with the most important person there is, you. And this kicks off an amazing positive feedback loop. You make a tiny promise, something like, I will walk for 10 minutes. You do it. Boom. That's a little deposit of trust in your internal bank account. And that trust is the fuel that makes the next action, maybe a 15-minute walk, feel not just possible, but completely natural. And that internal engine of quiet self-respect, that is the foundation for all real, lasting growth. Without it, motivation comes and goes, and willpower will always crack eventually. But with it, you're tapping into a renewable source of energy that can power you toward any goal you have. Okay, so enough of the what. Let's talk about the how. How do you actually start building this engine for yourself, like right now? You start with just one. Seriously. Not a massive life overhaul, not some complicated new morning routine, just one. One small, almost laughably easy, non-negotiable action. The only rule? It has to be something you are 100% certain you can do every single day. And this right here, this might be the most important mindset shift of all. When you commit to, say, writing one page a day, the goal is not the page. The real goal is the feeling of quiet self-respect that you get from keeping that promise. That is the win.
The action is just the way you get there.
So I'm going to leave you with a challenge, a question. What is your one non-negotiable small win for this week? Don't just think about it. Really define it. Make it so small it feels silly. And then go do it. Go build that first piece of evidence that proves you are someone who does what they say they're going to do. Because that is where everything begins to change.